Laker fans, how we doing? Great to see everyone. We're inching closer. Tuesday, home opener against Minnesota, Crypto.com Arena. So excited. Can't wait for all that. We got a few more preseason games here. I'm going to get into three things today. I'm going to talk about the bench and Dalton Knecht. Those were two very different performances from both of those. Third quarter woes. Something that was a big deal last year for the Lakers. Kind of crept into the conversation the other night. I'm going to preview the Phoenix Suns, who the Lakers will be playing coming up here. So we're getting all that. We'll start with the bench and Dalton Knecht. The bench did not inspire much confidence. We've been sitting here kind of trying to be very positive, talk about how all these new signings, obviously Gabe Vincent was last year, but didn't really play much of the year, couldn't find a rhythm. Max Christie getting the 4-year, $32 million contract, hoping Jalen Hood-Schifino could kind of take a step forward. And all these things are still possible. I don't want to be too negative. All these things are very on the table. It's one game. It's a preseason game. The box score does not matter, but since we're doing a preview video, we're going to talk about it. Not the best performance, not going to lie. Jalen Hood-Schifino, 0 for 6. Not what we want to see. Max Christie, 0 for 3. Gabe Vincent, 0 for 5. That can't happen in the regular season. I hope it was just a bad shooting night because simply the Lakers can't just keep relying on the starters. The Lakers going to run into the same problem they've had the last few years, where they're going to try to get LeBron minutes and they rest minutes, and they realize they can't because he has to be playing if the Lakers want to win the game. And there's too much talent on the bench. There's too many big names, too much money being spent there for that to happen. Obviously, Max Christie with the new deal, Gabe Vincent's making a lot of money. I guess Jalen Hood-Schifino is on a rookie contract, so of the three of them, he has the least pressure, but he hasn't inspired much confidence so far. Obviously, last year and this year, a couple of the preseason games, he did all right, but it was not great the other night. On a more positive note, Dalton Knecht. Wow. I mean, this is exactly what you're looking for as the Lakers. 21 minutes, 19 points, 2 steals, 6 for 15 from the field, 5 for 13 from three-point. The Lakers shot 11 of 40 the other night from three, and Dalton Knecht had 5 of those. You love that he's firing. I love that he kind of clearly knows that he belongs. And looking the way it is, if the bench keeps this up, Dalton Knecht's going to have to be a huge part of this team. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room for him to kind of adapt as a rookie, and that's what you'd like to see because there will be growing pains, there will be struggles. But the one nice thing is at Tennessee, he was a 4-year starter, played for many years in college basketball. That is a good thing that he's not just a 19-year-old kid coming in here. He's got experience. He's played in big games in the tournament we've talked about before. Had 39 points against Purdue in March Madness last year, and with Zach Edey, and that team was unreal, the number 1 seed Purdue. So Dalton Knecht's used to big moments. He played great the other night, and the Lakers are going to need it because it can't just be D'Angelo Russell and LeBron shooting threes. Gabe Vincent, I expect better things from. Max Christie, I think that will come. I think it was just a bad shooting night. Max Christie did have some good games last week, and we saw the kind of output that Gabe Vincent did with the Heat when he led that team to the championship, him and Jimmy Butler. He was unreal. He was averaging something around 42% from three on that playoff run. So we know that he's done it at a big level. It's nice to see that Dalton Knecht, this draft pick, looks to be really paying off because he's going to have to play. And again, the Lakers can't just be relying on the starting 5 to get him far, because I think that then it's going to end up being the same thing the last few years where the Lakers are fighting for the play-in. They're going to be gassed going into the playoffs, and they're not going to have much left. But if the talent surrounding him, which I do believe there's a lot of talent on this team, Christie, Knecht, Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Bronny to a lesser extent, because I think he's going to be playing the G League or not really getting any minutes. They got to step up, and Dalton Knecht looks like he's fully capable of taking on the responsibility, and could be the 6th man of the team. Who knows? Getting into my next point, third quarter woes. This was tough last year. I mean, how many times did the Lakers have to? They were the live bet kings. If you were a bettor, you would wait for the Lakers to get down in the third quarter, and they'd come roaring back in the fourth, and you get them on the huge spread. So bettors made a lot of money live betting the Lakers to come back. The third quarter was frankly dreadful last year. There wasn't a lot of good positives to take away from it. And it's very odd because usually the third quarter is where you're coming out of halftime, you're making adjustments. And we see it in the NFL all the time. A defense can't stop anybody, and then all of a sudden they come out of the second half and they make adjustments. Also, vice versa, the offense kind of makes some things. That's where head coaching, I think you pointed to last year with Darvin Ham, wasn't good, because it's like, where are these adjustments? Where are these things coming from that I mean, as a coach, you should be analyzing in the first half, going, this is not working. Let's try to exploit that in the second half. This guy has this many fouls, things of that sort. Was really a struggle last year. And Rui Hachimura talked about it post game, was unhappy with it. Said, we can't be this bad in the third quarter. JJ Redick talked about it. He said, quote, we had 19 points in the third, and AD had 8 on 4 straight possessions in ISO ball, which I called those plays because he hadn't touched it. We didn't play good offense that quarter. That's interesting. And it's tough to take too much away. Again, it's a preseason game. Guys aren't totally trying. They're ready for the season, saving their legs. So this is not some big thing. But looking Tuesday, I want to see AD demanding the ball, because this was the thing that we saw last year in some of the big games. At the end of it, the Lakers would be trying to push it down to Anthony Davis, and LeBron would be trying to get it to him, and he kind of disappeared in the background. And sometimes AD would be amazing, and he'd be dominant, his dominant self, his top 5 player self. And then sometimes you're like, where is he at on the floor? So I like that JJ Redick did do that he's like, hey, we're going to get him involved. We're going to call some ISO balls for our first or second best player, however you want to do it, first now because of his age. I like that, but the Lakers really have to be better coming out of the third quarter. And it takes a lot out of you. I think you see that on the back-to-backs where you go, the Lakers would sometimes, give them credit, would come out of these huge holes. I mean, that Clipper game last year was unbelievable. They were down a ton heading in the fourth quarter, and those comebacks take a lot out of you. And I think you'd see that when the Lakers would play their next game or their back-to-back, they just wouldn't have any gas left. And it's tough to keep asking. It's for a few times a year to come back, have a huge comeback. That's great. And it's nice to know that the team can do that. But you don't want that to have to be an every night occurrence where guys are having to play shut down defense their entire fourth quarter and be perfect on all. It's like, don't dig the hole. If you were just a little bit better in the first, second, and especially third quarter, this wouldn't be a problem. If it was competitive and you could get guys some rest, and then a lot of the times you see that, in the fourth quarter, the starters will be playing the whole time. So the next game, one of them might be not playing. They come out sloppy. Saw it a lot. I like that JJ Redick in his press conference, listening to it, that was a major point of emphasis, because it can't be what it was last year if the Lakers want to go far. Another point on the game I wasn't too happy about. Lakers allowed 52 points in the paint to a team without a traditional big man or center. With the Warriors, Draymond Green is their big man. Obviously not that big. They tried to get Lauri Markkanen in the offseason, pushed hard for him. So I'm going to chalk it up to preseason and that they're not totally trying yet. But if we're giving up 52 points to the Warriors, that's a problem, because the Nuggets are going to have more, and the Timberwolves are going to have more, and the Suns are going to have more with Nurkic. That's got to be better. And these are things that JJ Redick's going to get cleaned up. I really do like listening to his presser so far. What he hasn't been running away from the questions, and he really has been addressing when reporters have been like, hey, what's going on with this third quarter woes? He's been like, yeah, we weren't good, and we're going to fix it. And really kind of putting the nail on the head, instead of Darvin Ham last year, who would point to, I don't understand why everyone's all mad. I mean, we've only lost a few games in a row. Didn't create a lot of confidence in the team when he said that. So I like what I've seen from JJ Redick so far. And again, just can't wait for Tuesday night. Looking at the Phoenix Suns real quick, this is a team, again, just like the Warriors, we play them a lot. High expectations the last few years for this team. Obviously, getting Bradley Beal, Devin Booker's unreal, Kevin Durant, both in the Olympics. Nurkic has always had really good games against us. A team that really kind of got a lot of the Bradley Beal deal, they regret. They gave away all their depth for him, and he hasn't been that good. He's hasn't been very good at all, actually. And his contract's untradeable. No one wants that contract. The Suns would have to dump picks for people to even take it. He hasn't been good, and the Wizards really kind of got rid of him real fast and kind of baited the Suns into the whole big three thing that every Kevin Durant team seems to be enamored with. He's getting the big three around him. And this is a team that Kevin Durant, injury prone, Bradley Beal, injury prone, Devin Booker's great. They need them all to be healthy. And you see sometimes, I think, with the Phoenix Suns is when they're all healthy and they'll play a great game. When Booker and Kevin Durant each drop 30, 35, they look unreal. But there's a lot of problems with depth on this team, I think. They did get a rookie, Ryan Dunn, who has turned heads, and preseason kind of off-season practice. Dunn has equaled his total of 3-point makes from his 2 years at Virginia, 12 in just 4 preseason games. So that's good for them. Nurkic and Booker will play tomorrow. That was kind of up in there. They didn't know. Reggie Miller said the Suns have a puncher's chance to win the title. I agree with that. Obviously, if Kevin Durant, if they're all healthy, they're a tough out for anyone just simply because of the amount of talent that they have on the roster. But they're only getting older, and I don't think currently that you can ask. They're even thinner than the Lakers, and I think the Lakers are a lot deeper than we give them credit for. I think the other night was just a flash in the pan, hopefully, and they're only going to get better. They're all young players: Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Dalton Knecht. The Suns, it's pretty slim pickings, and they need their guys to drop 30, 40 every night. And Kevin Durant hasn't shown ability to totally stay on the floor for long stretches of time. This is a team I think that will be hanging around the play-in. Again, would I want to see them in a one-game scenario? No, because they do have some superstars. But I don't know if they're built to go over the full season because they really rely on them heavily, and I don't think it's good for that roster. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys listening. This is our preview video for tonight. But we're gonna get into it next week, and go Lakers. Thank you.